not only important that we can collect data and represent it using tables and graphs, but once we do have that information in a perhaps bar chart, then we need to be able to interpret it, because that's the power of statistics, is being able to make some assumptions or to draw some information from the information that you found. So we're going to start by looking at categorical data, and of course we know that the bar chart, one of the main forms for displaying categorical data. So the following is guidelines that will help you when you are writing a summary of information, if you like, for the data that you've collected. So in a report, we always start off with some sort of introduction. So this first bit here talks about the fact that you need to summarise the context and include the number of people you've surveyed and just give some background information. So that is really your introduction to your summary. The next couple of points, if there's a clear modal category, we're talking about the highest frequency there, the one that occurs the most. And then if there's anything that you particularly want to comment on from the data that you think might be interesting in your summary, that would be the next point. And of course, you don't have to mention absolutely everything in your summary, but as long as it does give an overall picture of what the data is on about. In this example, 200 people were asked to comment on the statement, "Astrology has scientific truth," by selecting one of the following options. So definitely true, probably not true, definitely not true, or don't know. Okay, so you can see there the frequency table that's associated, that's from the data that's been gathered, and then the bar chart that's been drawn from that frequency table. The question says, write a report summarising the findings of this investigation, quoting appropriate percentages to support your conclusion. And that bit is really important. You should always back up any statement you make with evidence. So let's start off by writing our introduction. So remember, it is meant to be a summary. You don't have to include absolutely everything here. So your introduction might be slightly different to mine, but my introduction says astrology has scientific truth. 200 people were asked to respond. Okay, now I want to perhaps look at the next dot point there, which talks about the modal category, or the most frequently occurring category. So you can see from the table there that there was 75 out of 200 that thought that the statement was probably not true. So when I put that into my summary, I'm just using normal language, so most people, and then I back it up with evidence. 37.5% thought this was probably not true. So looking at our data, we can see that almost a quarter of the respondents, people responding to this survey, thought that the statement was probably true, and also over a quarter thought that it was definitely not true. So the way that I've summarised that is similar numbers of respondents said that it was probably true, and again I'm backing it up with some evidence there, and definitely not true, and again backing it up with the evidence, 25.5%. To finish off, we can see that very few people definitely thought it was true. In fact, only 4.5% thought it was true. So I've written only 4.5%. That is, only 9 people out of 200 believe the statement to be definitely true. So it's a paragraph, and who would have thought that you have to do so much writing for mathematics, but it is really important that we get into the habit now of looking at the information that we've got and drawing conclusions from it. So this is probably something that we will develop further as we go on in senior mathematics.